Hey, I just want to talk about something in today's episode. We're going to talk about review bombing. If there's a game out there that you don't like, people will choose to review bomb it. There are TikToks, Reddit posts, YouTubers, and other gamers that say that you should review bomb a game because reasons. And yes, I'm talking about Overwatch 2. It went on to Steam, finally released on Steam after all these years, on August 10th, making it readily available to Steam users in addition to people who played the game via the Battle.net app, which is perfectly fine. That's great, actually. I actually uninstalled it from the Battle.net app and installed it on Steam. The one thing that bothers me the most about this is that shortly after it got onto Steam, it was immediately review bombed. First off, it started in the first hundreds, then the first thousands, then the tens of thousands. It's now got about 56,000 reviews as of August 12th at 3:24 a.m., and they're overwhelmingly negative, with only 10% saying that the game is positive. Spoilers, I'm the 10%. Now, I want to tell you a little something, and this is something that a lot of people aren't getting, but there is something that you need to understand about review bombing. Review bombing any game, no matter who made it, no matter if it was a AAA game or an indie game, review bombing any game whatsoever, and this is probably something that you know, but you're not paying attention to. Review bombing a game does absolutely, positively, fucking nothing. It does nothing. You want an example? Metro Exodus. When Metro Exodus came out and they were talking about how it was going to be the third and final installment of the Metro franchise, I'm like, yes. Everyone was all hyped for it. They were excited for it. They were like, shut up and take my money. They really wanted Metro Exodus. And it was fantastic. But then the announcement came that Metro Exodus was going to be primarily an exclusive over on Epic. And this is what happened shortly after. Gamers were so pissed off that the game was only going to be an exclusive on Epic that they decided to do this review bomb thing. So they review bombed Metro last night and Metro 2033. Both games in their own right are absolute gems in that franchise. They are wonderful games. They're fantastic games. For reals. They're like, holy shit, what the fuck? Straight up awesome. These games are so damn good, man. Okay? And I'm vouching for these. These are great games. But the games got review bombed. You know what happened when those games were review bombed? Sales began to stop for those games. The review bombing started shortly after the announcement of Metro Exodus. The game itself was not out yet. So two perfectly good games that had absolutely nothing to do with any of the clusterfuckery got shit on for no other reason because gamers were upset that a perfectly good game, which Metro Exodus is good from what I hear, was not available on Epic. Now, the people who review bomb games think that this will encourage some kind of action to take place. That the devs will be like, yes, we hear you, we see you, we're sorry, we're going to undo this, we're going to undo that, done, 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 it's over, there you go. And the reason why I say, and if not know, that review bombing doesn't do anything, the CEO of Epic Games had to step up and say, yes, the game is under exclusivity. However, it's only going to be like that for a year. 1 year. That's it. As a matter of fact, every Epic Games exclusive has only been for 1 year. And then after that, developers can go and release the game anywhere they damn well please. You want to drop it on Steam? Go right ahead. You want to release it on your own portal? Go ahead, do that too. It's completely open and free for them to do that. 1 year passes. Metro Exodus drops on Steam. Everybody's loving the game. Everybody thinks it's fantastic. Suddenly, review bombing ends. Oh, this game is great. It's a good thing it's not on Epic Games anymore. Some gamers actually think it's a win because they felt that, and I shit you not, that by review bombing the game, it somehow encouraged them to put the game onto another platform so it could be purchased, despite the fact that the CEO of Epic clearly said, hey, the exclusivity for Metro Exodus, as well as any other game that we do not make, is only for 1 year. Maybe even less than that. But I swear, there are gamers who will say, yes, review bombing helped, this was great, it got the game out earlier. The game did not come out early. It did exactly what it was going to do. Exclusivity ran an entire year, and then the developers were like, okay, now we can push it to other platforms. So the thing that the developers as well as the CEO of Epic said was going to happen actually happened. And it had absolutely nothing to do with the gamers. The review bombing did not change a single solitary thing. There was no W, there was no L. It was just a thing that happened. Fast forward to today, Overwatch comes in. Have you ever looked at some of the reviews, the negative reviews on this? They're not even talking about the pros and cons of the game. They're just saying cash grab, cash grab, cash grab. They're saying this is terrible, that's terrible, this sucks, that sucks. Let me tell you something. This motherfucker that you're listening to right now has been playing Overwatch since closed alpha. Like, I signed up to join the alpha, and they invited me and was like, hey, would you like to play this game that we're testing? You can't tell anybody about it, but we want you to play it. And I was like, yeah. And I played it. That's how long I've been playing Overwatch. I played Overwatch when it was Overwatch 1. I'm currently playing Overwatch 2. And I'm having a ball with it. I've always had a ball with this game. I haven't played it as often because I've been busy. Playing Call of Duty and Diablo 4 and getting into these other games, trying to finish off my roster. But to this day, I still play Overwatch. I played Season 5, I played Season 4, 3, and 2. I missed Season 1. But since then, I've been able to make it through Seasons 2 and 5. And the whole time, I've been having fun. Okay? Just fun. Every person that has ever left a negative review on this thing, except for the 10% of us that didn't, always said, hey, just doing my part, or contributing onto this, or adding on to that. Some of this stuff is stupid. They're not even playing it for a full hour, these reviews. Like, there's one that's on here, most helpful reviews in the past day, that says, porn's so good they made a game out of it. 3,627 people found this negative review helpful. 1,620 people found this review funny. It's received 150 awards. That's not a review. The diva porn is better than the diva gameplay from this game. And that's a goddamn fucking lie. Okay? I've been diva maining since Overwatch 1. Diva is fun. And I was able to kick a lot of ass now that the meta has changed. We're doing 5v5. We're no longer doing the 2-2-2 shit. And that's bullshit, I can tell you. The diva gameplay is dope. And so is the diva porn. I'm not blind, man, okay? One person, after just 0.6 hours, says, play Baldur's Gate 3, y'all. And then another says, blood forgot to convert to PNG. I don't even know what that means. Zombies like, where is my Overwatch 1 I paid for? Overwatch 1 was retired. Overwatch 2 took over, and it's free. Okay? Another one at 1.7 hours, right? They say, what the fuck was that? Why is every character so fucking sexual? Is it so fucking cluttered that for 90% of the time, I don't even know what the fuck is actually going on? How can anyone play this crap? That made no sense. One person says, I miss Jeff. Jeff Kaplan's been gone for years. It's over. Okay? And another one just flat out points it out. 0.1 hours on record says, this company is not worth your money. This has nothing to do with a review. They essentially scrapped everything they promoted for PvE and downgraded the game and are slowly reintroducing aspects of the first game and calling them, quote, updates. While the gameplay is still there, the greed overshadows everything else. That is not accurate at all. First and foremost, the PvE was never going to work because based on the size and the scope, it would have literally taken away from what Overwatch 2 is. Okay? It's a multiplayer battle arena. It's a MOBA game. Adding the story mode the way they wanted to would have made it into a completely different game altogether. And most of that stuff, not like it would take too long to build and work on anyway. I don't think it would have ever worked anyhow. Okay, so what did they do? They decided to go with what works. The games are designed to be played in short, controlled bursts. The events should follow that same suit. The stories should follow that same suit. And you know what? They do. And you know what else? They're fun. They're fantastic. They are great. They are legit amazing. And again, this is coming from someone who played this game before it was even released. Overwatch 2 Season 6 has been the most fun I have had in the longest time with this game. The maps look great. The fights look great. Even when I lose, and yeah, it sucks to lose, but even when I do lose, it's like, damn, that was really good. I give GG's. I haven't had to deal with harassment. There hasn't been any trolling. It's actually been a very nice, pleasant time. I've had some very considerable fun with this game. And again, this is coming from someone who played it long before it was even released. The game is fun. It's awesome. It's amazing. But yet you have people who will say that this game is terrible because they don't like the company. Let me tell you a little something. The people who have actually been causing the harm and the damage is not the developers, and it's not the game itself. That's the problem. The problem is the president and CEO of Blizzard, Bobby Kotick. That guy is an asshole. He's the one that has caused the environmental condition that we are currently in the gaming zeitgeist. And I don't even know if I used that word correctly. It's like 3:30 in the morning and I'm tired, okay? I just finished streaming. I'm a little exhausted. Don't hold it against me if I use that word incorrectly. But anyway, he's the one that I blame for what's happening at Blizzard, not the developers. Not the game itself. The game didn't hurt anybody. The developers of the game didn't hurt anybody. The developers and the game are the victims of Kotick's bullshit. Kotick allowed for a toxic environment to exist. He allowed for the company to do disgusting, deceptive things. Don't blame the developers and the games for somebody else's actions. That's called guilt by association. That only works in crimes. It doesn't work here. I don't hate Overwatch 2, and I don't hate the developers of Overwatch 2, because the developers and the designers of the game and the game itself are not what caused the toxic environment and the toxic bullshittery and the sexual harassment and the sexual assaults and abuse and shoved everything under the rug so nobody can do it. Overwatch 2 didn't do all that shit. The developers didn't do all that shit. Bobby Kotick did. The only reason why people are review bombing this game and taking out their vitriol on everything Blizzard is because it's an easier target to hit. See, you can't send an email to Bobby Kotick, expect him to see it, read it, and then get back to you. He's not going to do that. That's not a thing that is going to happen. So what do? You go after the easier target, the game itself and its developers. And they had absolutely, positively nothing, fucking nothing to do with this. This is not on them, and it's not their fault. It's not their fault that their boss is a dick. It's not their fault that their boss does not give a shit about their health and well-being. It's not their fault that their boss created an environment, a working environment, that was toxic and full of harassment. It is 100% truly and genuinely the fault of Bobby Kotick. Review bombing a video game that were made by developers who were more than likely harassed and abused and assaulted by upper management and their inept, asinine ways of running a company should not be the victims of your vitriol. They already have enough shit to deal with. Review bombing a game does 100% absolutely nothing. It has zero impact on anything. It is without question the dumbest shit anyone has ever done in the gaming community. You actually make Anita Sarkeesian look smart. And that's saying a lot, and it's also fucking impossible, but yet here we are. If you don't like a game, fine. Don't like a game. If you're going to write a review on a game, actually write an actual fucking review about the game. Don't do this. You're not winning any points. You're not really winning anything. You're just wasting time and energy. You're wasting effort. You're wasting stuff that you could be doing other things by review bombing. This isn't going to change anything. You're just taking your anger and frustration out on the game and its developers because you can't get to Bobby Kotick. You can't say to Bobby, fuck you, Bobby, you dumb bitch, for what you have done and said. You won't be able to do that. He's not going to hear those words. This doesn't change anything. Review bombing a game changes nothing. Nothing at all. And whoever was the schmuck that came up with this bullshit, for the love of God, sir, I hope you get kicked in the nuts so damn hard. Because you've basically taken the finest of shitlords and given them a tool to just be fucking annoying. Whether you want to hear this or not, Overwatch 2 is a fun game. I'm very glad they got rid of the PvE because it wasn't going to work anyways. It would have taken away from what the game actually is. It would have turned it into a whole other game altogether. Another game that we're not looking for. Another game that just does not fit with what Overwatch is. And you guys know that. I know that. I see that. And one more thing. If you guys don't like battle passes, fine. But I want you to know the people that don't like battle passes are the same people that didn't like loot boxes. All in all, they're just cheap bastards. That's all they are. Super cheap bastards. Plain and simple. I was GodOfKnockers, and it was really nice talking to you. Laters.